Hey everyone, just letting you guys know that I am doing my very first mukbang. I think I said it wrong, but um, eating, talking about food. Um, Usually I was going to do meals with Serena, but I haven't figured out the name of like everything because I'll be doing cooking, shopping, um, also I'll be you know not I'll be ordering, but some of my roommates, friends usually order food if we don't have money and don't have the food. Um, so today, our well, not our, but one of my roommates' friends ordered Chinese for us. Um, we have crab rangoon. Yes, it is crab rangoon, which is like cream cheese mixed crab meat in a wonton wrapper, deep fried. Um, as Star Cafe, China Star. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but they had a poo poo platter, which is everything here. You get two wontons, two fried chickens, two fried shrimp, two spare ribs, and two things of stick on a meat. Meat on a stick, stick on a meat. Meat on a stick. Um, Also, I have a shrimp lau mein. Not very many shrimp, but that's okay. With fried rice. Then I have wonton or crispy tongs for my soup. Looks like hot and spicy soup. And then sweet and sour sauce for my poo poo platter. So, the first thing I'm going to eat is a wonton, crab rangoon, sorry, crunchy. The middle is creamy. Oh, it's good. You could actually taste the cheese, but it has a little strange tang aftertaste. Oh, and I got a 2 liter of Coca Cola, but as you can see, I drink a little bit of it. Earlier today, we had Dunkin' Donuts. We only had breakfast sandwiches. I was too tired to film this morning. Not bad wontons. Damn it, crab rangoon. Excuse my language. Now for this. first I already tried the crab rangoon. Now, time for a spare rib. It tastes like it was grilled in sweet and sour sauce. I mean, it's sweet. I mean, that's exactly what it tastes like. I mean, it's actually good. So, yeah, each time, mm, sorry, so good. Um, I will be doing like either weekly or every 2 weeks of something that has to do with food. The meat is a little dry, just a little bit. Not bad. Sometimes I do um eat the stuff, the platter with sweet and sour sauce. Sometimes I don't. Depends on my mood. So um come on. Okay, this is deep fried shrimp. It's like kind of like baked, like as if it was like original crispy, like original recipe chicken from KFC. And it tastes like oily, very oily. I think this was from Rice House. It's like really, really oily. I have autism, and to me, it's even tasting weird. What? Then why are you spying on me? If you want to see what I'm talking about, log into YouTube and watch my video. Sorry, that's my roommate. This is the meat on a stick. Yes. It tastes like it's teriyaki grilled. I mean, it's sweet, very sweet. But it is good. It has a little smoke taste to it. But see, I mean, don't get me wrong. These are mm, these are easily to be made. Easily, easy to make. I mean, I got a George Foreman grill. It's just where we live. We can't have like a outdoor cooking one, which really sucks. I forgot there was egg rolls in it. As a matter of fact, you know, I can easily look up the easily easily look up the recipe for all this stuff. What it tastes like the egg rolls taste like they're from a cabbage coleslaw mix wrapped in a wonton wrap. like a very thick one. So, anyways, that's that one for right now. It fell. My wonton fell. Crabber and Goof fell. Sorry, not wontons. Oh yeah, from a Asian market. My roommate bought some wontons, and they're actually good. So these ones are the sweet ones. Sweet and a little bit salty. I also had one of the wontons that had um, seaweed made into it, and oh my god, they're good. Now, I'm going to talk about what's going on in Canada. It's gotten so bad that Trudeau said that if you're not vaccinated, basically you're not worth to have living. They cut everyone off of everything that's not vaccinated. Like, they can't take their kids to the movies. They're not allowed to know what they're teaching their kids, which is a bunch of BS. Because you know, you sit around dinner and you ask about how your day at school went. A lot of kids are like, "Well, this happened and this happened and this happened," but now it's like, fine. And now they're trying to get my kids and grandkids and other kids in Canada to get vaccinated because it's supposed to protect their family. How is it protecting their family when they are supposed to be getting blood thinners? Kids are not supposed to have strokes or heart attacks. So why are they asking for blood thinners if the vaccination shots are supposed to be healthy? I mean, come on. But anyways, I am so forth and supporting Canadian Pride Truckers Convoy 2022. I am 100% supporting. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what conversation you guys start. But just to let you know, whatever Trudeau says, we are not racist. We are looking out for our health because the vaccination shots are what's killing people more than what their health is. There are lots and lots of people in the hospital that are vaccinated more than non vax. So get that through your heads, Nancy Drews. And another thing, um, sorry if you guys hear that. That's my Skype. My stepson's starting to wake up or tossing and turning. One of the two. After this video, I am going to take a little nap. But my husband can't. Well, my future husband, my fiance, can't go and be a police officer like he wants to because he's not vaccinated. No, they did not fire him. But soon, I hope this will get Trudeau to go, oh, they're actually serious. Maybe I should change the rules. I mean, we have enough problems as personal in life. The last thing they need is someone to control their everyday life of living. My family can't go into a grocery store close by without being vaccinated. So they would have to go like 25 miles away from where they're normally shopping to 2 hours from where they have to shop just to get food to live, to survive. There are parents with disabled kids, like autism and a whole bunch of other problems that, sorry, because one of my son's friends that I thought, that I think of as his son, his son has cancer. And they were kicked out of Ronald McDonald's house just because he was not vaccinated. Which makes me really mad because that little boy needs. My grandson needs to be looked after because he has cancer. This just makes me so mad that the only thing I can do is just support them from my Facebook. They even closed the borders. I was planning on going up there to be with my family soon. And I can't even do that. I want to see my kids. I want to support them so bad that I'm willing to say, hey, this is what's going on. Think about your kids. Would you want them to be forced vaccinated and get blood thinners through the rest of their lives? Because they are too young to go through all this. There are kids with diabetes. People with diabetes are not supposed to be taking this vaccination. People with health problems are not supposed to be taking this vaccination. I have a leaky liver. I can't take it or else it's going to attack my liver. And there may be people saying, oh, there's test proofs. No, my son used to work with every person that went in there, and the vaccinated have been coming in there more than the non-vax. Even my son was forced to go on sabbatical, I guess. He's not fired, but go on sabbatical too, like just because he's not vaccinated. He loves being a nurse. He would just, when the kids scared of needles, he would just cheer them up and, excuse me, keep their mind occupied on stuff. And they're even getting it down to as 5-year-olds trying to be vaccinated. My kids pulled my grandkids out of school. My fiance pulled our kids out of school. Yes, when I'm saying our kids, I look at them as my own. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, when you have your own kids, it's going to be different. No. When you're an instant mother or father, you love the child as if they're your own. And if you're going, if you're thinking, well, what happened to the mother? He, 8 years ago, um, my my fiance lost his wife to brain tumor, brain cancer. And when she was starting to get worse, she would forget about one of her sons, and it hurt him a lot. And then the youngest, he was just in diapers when she passed, probably like about 6 months old, maybe even less, losing his poor mother. After she died in my fiance's arms, he was trying to be brave, driving the kids home. His oldest daughter looks at him and goes, "Where's mom?" He pulls over and starts crying. Just listening to that man cry, missing his wife, is very painful for anyone to hear, because it's like one of those very bad heartbreak cries. Around that time, he met a sweet boy. He was like 22. He was running a youth group, and this 16-year-old boy came in. He had problems at home. His mom basically hated him because he was a boy and not a girl. And he lost contact. My fiance lost contact with this boy. And then I meet him in 2004. you know he said he was in the military. He got recruited, went to war. He got shot in the leg. My cousin went to war too, so they knew about each other. Um, and the whole time they were at war, I didn't eat very much. I thought I should become a vegetarian, so I ate around my meat for you know meals. And to this day they can't watch any movies with war in it, like can't watch Jacob's Ladder, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, um, Flag of Our Father. I think that's what the name of the movie is. Pearl Harbor. Um, I think that's the top five that I know of. But if you guys could think of any more, write down below. Um, so, um, but yeah, they can't even, listen to popcorn popping, which really scares them. Um, actually, my Uncle Larry goes through it too. I mean, he was a war vet, and um, not the same time as they were. I think he was like in some other war, like not Vietnam, but like Korean War. That was back in '84. I think it was 84, 85. I mean, I did a report on it. I just forgot the years. Um, but you know, my our son came back from the war. He wasn't our son at the time, but he came back online, and I said, "Where have you been?" And he goes, "I'm sorry, I've been." I said, "Right, you went to war." I said, he goes, "Yeah." I said, "I miss you," and he goes, "I miss you too," because we're like practically like brother and sister at that time. And I said, "Hold on, my cousin's calling me," and he goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, hold on." So I answered, and my favorite cousin said that he was back from war because I kept on trying to get a hold of him because I heard that he was back. So I was, we were playing phone tag, like texting or calling. And so I'm like, that's that's good that you're back. And he goes, "Yeah, but," he goes, "I told Bush we should have never been to war in the first place." I'm like, "You did not." He goes, "I did." I'm like, he goes, "What? I'm sorry." I'm like, "Well," and I told him, I was practically almost sick. I was pale. I wasn't eating very much. I wasn't sleeping very much because I was worried about two of my very best friends. One's my cousin, and one's like a brother figure to me. And he goes, "I kind of figured you would be." I said, "Well, anyways, guess who I'm talking to?" And he goes, "Who?" I told him, and he goes, "You keep that boy in your family." I said, "I will, don't worry." So, you know, our my son and I were like I said, like brother and sister in a online role playing family that ended up becoming real family. There was this woman that my fiance was with at the time, going on about 6 months, and came to find out they were sharing the same woman. This woman was so sick, it just made my stomach twist. Not only she wanted the him and his oldest son, my fiance and his oldest son, which ended up being the boy that was actually my brother. Well, kind of like my online brother that became my son. She wanted him in a relationship with her, plus four other sons of my fiance's. And when she told me the secret, I told my fiance, who was my role play dad at the time, and him and I were good friends. We talked. She found out we were talking and how we were talking to each other, so she tried hooking me up with one of our friends. That didn't work out because I was not connecting with them. It didn't feel right, and it was like there was no spark there. Um, so I mean, we didn't actually connect as lovers. We were connecting like more like brother sisterly friends, and so I'm like, so I talked to my fiance, and he's like, "Well, I'm glad that you're there to help me with my kids." You know, and she is so sweet. One of his daughters said, "Thank you for giving me back my dad. He's happy, he's laughing more." And I said, "You're very welcome." And one time he was sitting with me, we were talking, laughing, wa- watching movies. And then all of a sudden he goes, "Do you mind if I go to the bathroom?" I'm like, "If you have to go, go. You don't have to ask." And he goes, "Really? I don't have to ask to get like water or food or go to the bathroom?" I'm like, "No, you're a free man." He started crying because he never had that freedom. She, this woman wanted him to sit right there 24/7, not going anywhere. She got to go places. He had to stay by the computer until she got back. She also did it to his son, you know, the my friend, and I'm like, this woman's poison. She's going to ruin them, and they won't know what end is up for freedom. And so I said, we need to ditch her. You guys need to grow a backbone, is what I told them. They've had enough. She tried kicking me out of the family. I told them. They got mad at her. She got mad at me. I said, "Well, you shouldn't have kicked me out in the first place then. Now, should you?" Oh, she didn't like that answer. She kept calling me a bitch. Excuse me, a beach. She kept calling me other names, which, you know, I'm not going to repeat. Um, I mean, it was just crazy with her. I mean, she was nothing but toxic. And if you were wondering what that sound was, it was my friend Phantom Games getting off of her Sims game, and now she's back on. I think she's downloading some things and adding it to her game, or her game crashed. One of the two. But anyways, um, then a lot of stuff happened. Our son kept on getting hurt by people that he thought he could trust, and I being one of them. But I'm trying to make it up to him. So, um, but he was being called something which he isn't. Um, Sorry, my foot's in. Okay, my foot was a little bit stuck underneath my pillowcase. I was trying to move it. Anyways, So what happened is that, you know, time went on, you know, I ended up being like the overprotective mama wolf. Um, so I'm like, things just got crazier and crazier. First one, when he was dating this other woman, our son got, you know, got split, um, slid off the road in his car, uh, broke his pelvis when he hit the snow bank in the ditch. After that, it was that was actually close to my birthday too. Dang. Um, Around my birthday, like a couple years later, he got hurt by, his son was climbing on this like barred jungle gym kind of thing. It looked like a globe, and it was like kind of like like shaped like that, not like crisscross, but like a V mark and triangles all over. I mean, I'm sure you guys seen those when you were younger. Um, so his son got his foot stuck, so he's climbing underneath to get his foot unstuck, and well, he slipped, holding on to his son, and landing on his back. Oh, he was hurt really bad. So his ninja brothers, he was trained by my fiance with three other men. Go figure. Yeah, they act like Ninja Turtles. I am dead serious. My son, well, I call them all my sons. The oldest acts a lot like Raphael. To tell you guys the truth, Raphael is actually the oldest, then Leo, then Donnie, then Mikey. Um, and their nicknames are exactly. Leo, he's, Asian, very cute. I love my boys. But anyways, um, I just love broken Japanese English. Like Japanese that has like a broken English that's learning more English because I find it very cute. And so I'm like, so they said that Raph got hurt, and I'm like, oh boy, he was helping little Raph, like Raph Junior, because that's what they called him, and he's like, well, he got hurt, so we're looking after him. If it gets any worse, we're going to take him to the hospital. I said, okay. So a couple of years later, um, him and his fiance at the time was going somewhere. They had my grandson behind them, like in the back seat, and they were just driving like normal. Of course, in Canada, speed limit's 200, I think, or 100, something like that. It's different there than America. So this moose came out from nowhere, and Raph said, which is kind of funny that he has ninja brothers, And then he has hockey brothers. He plays hockey. He's the center, and he's a lot like Duke from Duke Larage from the animated series of the Mighty Ducks. And so he saw this brown patch of fur coming towards him. He gets my grandson to unbuckle, gets behind Wild Wing, his goalie's seat, and gets on the floor. Next thing he knew, boom, collide. Um, Wild Wing broke both of his legs. His hand was trapped between the window and Duke's head. Yes, we call him Duke as well. So, with all of his nicknames, he is the two main ones actually. His full name is Duke William Raphael Hamato Larage. Yeah, I had to make sure. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but Hamato Yoshi had Splinter, according to the cartoon version, or not cartoon version, but the regular Ninja Turtles version. He was mimicking his master's move in the cage, blah blah blah. You guys probably seen it, but yeah, I figured he probably would have the last name of Hamato and Hamato Raphael. That's how they say it in Japanese, or Raphael-san in Japanese. Um, try to think. Um, so, anyways, he was getting in and out of Duke was getting in and out of consciousness. Again, this happened around my birthday, like I said. All of a sudden I get a text message saying, he's hurt. He was in a car accident. And I'm like, is he okay? Like, they're cleaning out glass from his hair, and he was holding his jack is when he's going in and out of consciousness. They allowed him to go home for a little bit and then go back to the hospital because he kept passing out. So I was afraid that I was going to lose my son. And, I'm like, this is just getting crazy. Because, like, almost every year something bad happens to him. Around my birthday, I'm like, why did I have to be born? I'm supposed to be like a lucky baby or something. Because my nana called me her little lucky lady. I think it was when I was 12, maybe 13. I went to my first college football game. It was for a birthday gift. My nana worked for BSU. Um, she got free tickets. We went to Chili's for dinner, and my uncle kind of got a little jealous. And so I'm like, just because you're all a little jealous doesn't mean you have to like try ruin it for me. So, that night the BSU Broncos won the game, and I'm like, sweet. And so, but anyways, back to my family. Um, it was like, I thought, maybe we're out of the woods. Well, my son, in 2019, in November, was it 19? No, 2020. in November, he got the coronavirus. I'm like, oh no. And it was the one straight from China. I mean, his friend went to China, he came back, brought it to everyone because they went out to eat. And it's just like any normal symptoms. It's like the same as flu, but worse. I mean, you can't really breathe. Your taste buds go bleh. Um, Over time, your taste buds do slowly come back, but it's not like totally completely. I mean, if you had a strong taste of something, it's like not that strong anymore. Um, I should know because in December of 2020, I ended up getting the virus. So, because I got it from my roommate, and my roommate got it from her work. So, she felt really bad because she didn't mean to get me sick. But when you're living under the same roof, it tends to happen. Um, I mean, it happens within my family. Whatever we get, we give it to my son, and my son's immune system is really weak, so he gets like really sick, worse than we do, because he was a preemie, so his immune system is like weak. So he has to take vitamin water to make it stronger. Well, then he turns around and gives it back to us, and we're like, well, it's better than us than him, because he, he almost died from pneumonia. He almost dies from flus. It's just crazy. Um. So, but other than that, this was my first mukbang. Next time, hopefully, we'll do some Q&As. Please stay tuned for updates, and I'll yak with you later. Catch you on the flip side. See ya. And no, I don't mean like loser, but I mean like see ya. And love you guys. Mwah.